Howdy, neighbor Gabe in Raleigh, North Carolina. See more better with freeprescriptionlenses.com, next door in the Bull City. And I'm going to be cutting transitions gray lenses with Crizal Alize for your Oakley metal plate, size 53, and the matte black frame. Let me take everything out. Of course, let me start this by saying I am an authorized Oakley dealer. However, as an independent optician, I'm not allowed to individually list the frames with the prices on my website. So if there's any Oakley frame you want, email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. I'll have the instructions in the comment section below, and I will tell you the price and availability of the frame you want. And of course, free prescription lenses when you buy any Oakley frame. Of course, this is, when it's uncovered, is the Oakley 5098. Let me take the plastic sleeves off the arms they put on there when they ship. Again, this is the metal plate, is the name, the numbers, the Latin definition is, of course, my fingerprint all over it. It is the, where is it? It's got to be written on here somewhere. No 5098. Come on, that's what it is. But at least the color is 22, which is the matte black. And why does it not say the one? Anyway, okay, I give up. I give up. This is the first Oakley that does not. Again, this is the 53 eye size. That is written on the bridge. This is the titanium frame. It's got that, the Oakley emblem. Does it even say 5098 on the box? Let's see this. It does say it there. 5038, excuse me, 5038. How did I get that wrong? Again, the metal plate. I've got it written down here wrong. Let me change that. I've been doing too many jobs. I've got it right on my paperwork. I just wrote it down wrong here. I've got a short memory. Of course, Gabe is with Jimenez Law Firm. He's a one-man law firm. Hopefully that's criminal defense, because I'm going to need one before the night's over with. And speaking of memory, I could have been a lawyer if it wasn't for all that memorization stuff you have to do before you take the bar exam. Other than that, I could have been a lawyer. But again, these are the Oakley 5038 metal plates and the matte black frame, color 22. So let me begin by popping out the original demo lenses, of which you will receive in the mail. Put the frame into the tracing element of my blocker. But you are Secret Agent 1360, so in the future, if you ever need new lenses for this frame, I can pull it up by this barcode and mail you just the frames. Although being so close, you think I should deliver them. I'm hit the green arrow, which is start in every language. A little stylus is going to pop up and go around and trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy genuine, authentic Oakley frame, and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase. Now in just a moment, when it quits buffering, it will show me the shape of the lens that I will be cutting tonight. Oh, made a noise. We're getting somewhere. The memory's getting full in here. That's why it's going slow. Come on. Open up. Open up. Hit the green arrow, which moves me on to the next screen. Now, your pupillary distance, I measured at 57. He used some online measurements. I had him send a picture of himself with a credit card on his forehead. The same thing the app tells you to do. But I measured for him, and I got 57 millimeters. So that is 28.5 for each eye. The computer starts at 32.5. I'm going to tap the minus button until we get down to 28.5. I want to raise the optical center height up. Let's do 17.5. Let's do that. I'm going to mark that on there. Now your right eye reads minus 50. We have here minus 50. I'm going to take the lens out. Well, let me put some ink in the lensometer. That never-ending battle. But since you are spherical in each eye, I'm only going to put one dot on in the center one, because I only need one in the center, because you have no astigmatism. So in theory, the lens can rotate. Of course, based on the shape, it won't. But it doesn't matter how I lay the lens out. This is one of the few times that it actually does not matter. Still going to be just as careful as I normally would, but it comes with a little laminate on the front of the lens to protect the lens during shipping, so nothing rubs against the front convex surface of the lens. I'm going to take that off, put that onto my collection that I'm adding on there. Pretty nice, huh? So I'm going to put the lens in, put the power drum on minus 50. 50, says Ben Stiller in what was that movie? Along Came Polly. Put a dot on the lens. Put an R on here for right. And also the other thing I like to do, just so you know you're getting the authentic Essilor Transition Signature 7 grade lenses with Crizal Alize, I'm going to let you know that. This is -50. Again, these are the Airwear Transition 7 gray with Crizal Alize. And this is the right lens. You're going to get all the manufacturer's original packaging, from the little plastic sleeves on the arms to the demo lenses to the Essilor packets with my handwriting on there that you see me do in the video. And then you'll excuse me, you'll see them when you unbox them. Take the lens out of the protective packet, put the power drum on -1/4, put the lens in. I don't have to move the optical center much. And let's use the red this time. Put an R on there, and then this will be the left lens. Now again, if you guys missed any of that, let me recap. You complain about that joke, but you'll be telling it tomorrow. So this is a block, or I like to call him Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens, so I need 2 double-sided adhesive stickers. I feel like Larry's watching me. Larry? Larry, why are you looking at me, Larry? So I just made these glasses for Larry in hematite, Missouri. These are the Ray-Ban 8901 Transitions Extra Active with the Johnny Depp blue tint. I decided to keep the crazy basketball glasses on there since Gabe and I are on Tobacco Road. He's representing NC State, although he probably bites his lip when he hears me say that because his email has FSU in there, which puts me in a dilemma, which I'll explain later. But he comes from the city of red. I come from the city of blue here in Durham, the Bull City. But I put the sticker on there. I'm going to pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. I'm going to line up the magnet that's on the back with the magnet there in the arm. And we get everything lined up in there perfectly. I want to make sure the lens is large enough to fit. And it is. And actually, I'm going to try something here. I'm just going to do some rotations and see where it fits out the best, because it is spherical. I can literally rotate the lens any direction I want as long as that black dot is in the center, of which it is. So I'm going to hit that button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto the right lens. We'll place it there. We'll do the same thing now for the lens that ain't right, which will be played by the part of the left lens. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Now your pupillary distance had mirrored your right to the left, which is 28.5, which is 57 divided by 2. Same optical center height. Lay that out. I want to check something. Rotate the lens just to give me the, there we go, with centered in there the best. Hit that button. The arm's going to come down, place the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend to everyone go out, buy their own, put it on your own kitchen counter. Then you can cut your own lenses at home. You won't need this guy with the 2 thumbs and the ugly basketball glasses to cut them for you. But the actual cutting wheel is this heavy grit wheel that's a diamond crusted wheel that's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material till it's the final size. This wheel in the center with that channel, that little valley, that's what's going to put the V-shaped bevel on the lens, the knife-like edge, if you will, so it fits inside the bevel of the frame. I'm going to wake the computer up. This is job number 1360. 1360. And which I wish I would have gotten on my SATs. That would have got me into some better schools. But these are polycarbonate lenses. They are plastic, high-index plastic or Trivex. We would select that. Come back in another 200 jobs and I'll have a SAT score of 1560. Then we'll see what schools I get into. I won't have to cut lenses anymore. I can get a real job, something respectable. I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens because it won't be seen. I'm not going to put a safety bevel on the front convex surface of the lens. I'm only going to put a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens, and I'll explain why later. But I'm going to take the lens, press that on there firmly, put the magnet into another magnet there in the chuck, or by now you know I like to call it the Charles because I don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. Hit the green arrow to start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. And you can see as it's going around tracing the shape of the right lens. The old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once is measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so you have the best cosmetic look possible. I could move the bevel, I'm going to grab that, forwards or backwards. I know you're listening to me say forwards and I'm moving it back, but if I put the bevel on the front of the lens, it would force the lens backwards. If I put it on the back of the lens, it would force the lens forward. But why would I do that? I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it in the center for the best look possible. Now, if you see light flickering in the background, that is water there to catch the optical sawdust. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic, high-index plastic, and Trivex lenses cut wet, meaning that water sprays onto the lens for the duration of the cutting cycle. Now, water will spray onto your lenses, Gabe, but only for the last 20 seconds, just to wash away any optical debris that you may see beginning to form. So as I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. Essilor calls polycarbonate airwear because they feel they're as light as air. We have the Roman numerals. TR stands for transitions. V11 is Roman numerals for 7. The GY is gray. Of course, if you don't want to read hieroglyphics, you've got the transition signature 7 gray lenses with Crizal Alize. Again, these are the Essilor lenses. But as I was referring to earlier, polycarbonate is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is virtually unbreakable. These are high-impact ballistics grade lenses, the same lens materials that our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones to protect their eyes, as well as the same lens material that OSHA requires in safety glasses to protect the eyes of factory employees when they're on the factory floor. Now, this also has 100% UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that need to be reapplied every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun. In Raleigh, this is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. So I'm actually at 420 feet above sea level. Raleigh's probably about 375. You have to drive through Raleigh to get to the beach. Of course, now they opened up the toll road, and I can go around Raleigh. It just cost me $5.20, but sometimes on Friday afternoons it is so worth it. So again, Gabe is I'm a one-man optician. Gabe is a one-man lawyer at Jimenez Law. He goes to the gym. I'm going to try and pronounce it right. I bet I can't. Arichian, I have no idea. I'm butchering it, Gabe. I'm glad you can't sue someone over pronunciation, or can you? Either way, you work for me now. I'm going to hire you. You're like my priest, my rabbi, my lawyer. I can consult with you, and you can't tell anyone that I pronounced that wrong. So that's how it works to retain you, right? You give me money, and then you're on retainer. I'm not a lawyer, but I believe that's how it works. So let's see if the lens fits, which it will. Metal frames, they almost fit every time. Take the lens out of the Chuck, the Charles. Dry this off. Let's go ahead and I'm going to get my lefty loosey Phillips head screwdriver. Come on, flashlight, let's move you out of the way. And actually I'm going to hold this over here. I'm going to do a little bit of lefty-loosey, doing my best not to take the screw out all the way, holding it upside down so the screw cannot jump out. Take the lens, tuck it in at the outside corner. Actually, I'm going to push down there so I can keep my fingers above that screw. That snaps in, making sure it's in all the way. Now I'm going to do a little bit of the old righty-tighty. And actually, it still feels a little snug. I'm a perfectionist. I want to take that down about 1/10 of a millimeter. 1, 2, and 0.05 increments. Put that in, hit retouch. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts, but instead of going onto the cutting wheel, it's going straight to the bevel wheel to take 1/10 of a millimeter off, going around the circumference of the lens until it fits in there perfectly. I only get one chance to cut a lens perfectly on the internet. Well, of course, he's just right next door, but that's usually not the case. This is about the closest pair of glasses I've ever shipped. So, but it's that little extra at the beginning that's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary, is that little extra at the beginning. I want to make sure that every lens is cut perfectly before I ship worldwide, and that's why you want a perfectionist like me cutting your lenses. perfectionist like me who has a pair of crazy basketball glasses up on his edger, but it's being from Tobacco Road. Although, if you did go to Fayetteville State, now, Gabe has to get continuing education just like I do. I have to get 8 hours a year. I'm sure he needs more because of different changes in the law. But I went to Fayetteville for continuing education. It's one of the first ones. There's about 7 or 8 opportunities during the year. It's the first one. I wanted to get it over with and be done with it. I was driving down to Fayetteville. Florida State was playing my North Carolina Tar Heels and just put the worst whooping on them you can imagine about 7 or 8 years ago. They were up by 21 or 23 at halftime. I think they ended up winning by about 35 or 150. I can't remember which one, but it was not even close. Remember, Sam Cassell called Chapel Hill the wine and cheese crowd. So, again, tuck this in, being very careful not to lose that screw. You stay in there, screw. Do a little bit of righty-tighty. Yeah, that closes better now. That feels a whole lot better. So let's go ahead and start cutting the left limbs. Flip that over to L. Put it in, the magnet into the Charles, the Chucky baby, the Chuckster, the Gabe. I'm going to start calling it the Gabe. Hit the green arrow, the door closes, the clamp shuts just like before. And again, the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, well, off-white. Styluses used to be known as the white styluses. They got dirty. Tracing the shape of the left side of the frame. Yep, when I'm holding it upright, yeah, the left side. And then measuring where to place the bevel so you have the best cosmetic look possible. Look at that. Again, where's my flashlight? I've got a smaller one, I just can't find it. So no edge thickness whatsoever. Of course, with this prescription, this frame, you're not going to have any, but still. So again, the lens is going to drop down onto the cutting wheel. As it does, I'm going to go ahead and keep working on the right. Pop that block off, use my hand-approved drawing method. Throw that on there. Let's see where to put this sticker. We have time. Usually I like to push stuff down. That one's sticking up. There's a little flap right there. Let's go ahead and stick that on there and press that one down. Give everything a good squeezing. Compress it down tight. So the first year I had my lab, this one's growing. Since I moved my lab to this location, it is growing. Larry, you stay over there. Why's it always got to be about you, Larry? Gabe, it's a good thing you didn't send me your picture. Well, you did with the PD, but I'll give you a break. So, your right eye's minus 50. I'm going to put it in. Actually, the black dot's gone. I'm going to put more ink on here. Okay, so now that we have ink, I'm going to put it in. Find the center of your lens. Find the power. Before I forget, let me go ahead and put the black dot on there. Again, the flashlight, here it is. And I'm getting minus 50, exactly halfway between 0 and 1 in the minus, in the red. That's because your prescription reads minus 50. You need 2 steps of far-sighted correction. You are nearsighted with your glasses off. Everything is still a little bit large, especially far away, so that's why your lenses have a minus sign. They will minify, so the image is the correct size far away. Now you have no astigmatism correction. Astigmatism uncorrected, astigmatism makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. It's the crisp fine-tune knob. Everything is still nice and crisp, it's just the wrong size. So all we have to do for Gabe's lenses is get the right lens to 2 steps of far-sighted correction, only 1 step, the smallest amount you can possibly have in the left eye. For now. But Gabe, you went into law, not medical. I'm going to use a medical term, and that is there's something going around called the aging process, and you're going to get it, and that number is going to keep going up for the rest of your life. How about that? Fun fact, we're all going to get older if everything goes according to plan. If it doesn't go according to plan, you're not going to need glasses. So, good news, bad news, however you want to look at it. So it's getting the safety bevel put on the rear surface of the lens. And the reason why that is on a metal frame, that if any portion, there's the black dot. Let me darken that. If any portion of this lens comes in contact with the cheek, it will be nice and smooth. All it won't, because Metal frames have nose pads that create separation from the face, and there's no reason, unless you take a nap or you do full contact sports. I have a guy who does jiu-jitsu and is always getting hit in the face. I got a friend of mine on Facebook who does martial arts and says, hey, I blocked a kick with my face last night. I thought it was funny. I'm sure he didn't at the time. I'm sure he thought it hurt. So, lefty loosey. Doing my best not to lose the screw. Still popped out, but I'm gonna put my finger over it. Use my other fingers to make sure everything's lined up in the groove. Do a little bit of righty-tighty. Do a quick inspection on both sides. That looks good. Take the block off. Dry that off with my hand. Should I put one more on Larry? Should I put one right there? No, I think he's had enough. I've tortured him enough tonight. So, Gabe, I'm going easy on you. Put this in. Did the black dot come off? It's okay. I've got more ink in there. Watch me have to put more ink. Watch that. And again, we're getting, let's read the power, shall we? -1/4, 1 tick mark into the red, away from 0, heading towards 1. So, boy, that is light. I can see it, don't you worry. And again, if you guys missed any of that, let me recap. Yeah, I know you're moaning, but you'll be telling that joke tomorrow. So, where am I at? Oh, okay. So your pupillary distance is 57. I'm going to flip the card around when we place the PD stick against my thumb. At the 0, when we hold it up, I did mark that wrong, but it's 57. I know it is because I did it right earlier. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh, so this is the portion in every video that as I clean your lenses, I mentioned there's free shipping anywhere in the U.S. and the city next to me is still in the U.S. But when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get it in standard alignment first, also known as the 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. Set it on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. And when I say wobble, by the way, so the reason why I was saying about Florida, so let me clean these a little better. I didn't know which cleaning cloth to give you. I was going to give you an orange one, but I don't have a burgundy or cardinal red one. I was going to give you an orange one, but I was afraid you were going to think that's like Florida orange in case you did go to Florida State, and I know those are arch rivals, so that just leaves me the yellow. However, my PD stick, US Optical, they make their own cleaning cloths with certain anti-glares that they send me, and so I can give you what is close to a Florida State red and an NC State red. And it's hard for you to believe that that's not a Florida orange. And now when I demonstrate my glasses on the counter, when I say there is no wobble, set them down and press down. When I take mine off, and I'm wearing the Oakley 8132, it's going to be really hard to convince you that's not Florida blue and orange. But it's not. I just like blue and orange. It's my Durham Bulls blue and orange. You know the baseball team? You see the movie Bull Durham with Kevin Costner, Susan Sarandon, and oh, what's his name? Tim. Oh, it's going to come to me after the video. Rush LaRue, that's what they called him in the movie, I think. I can't remember. Nuke. But yeah, so when I press mine down, normally my glasses wobble on the counter. But the great thing about these pilot temples, and that's what these are called, pilot temples, because you imagine a World War II pilot with a helmet, you can slide these on and off without taking your helmet on and off. But this is the only pair of glasses I've ever had that don't wobble on the counter. So, pretty cool feature about these temples. Press down, there is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. And that neither temple is askew like that. Check the tension on each spring hinge, that's good. So this is what the lenses look like the first time. While they're still clear, I'm going to go ahead and activate them, meaning I'm exposing them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light here in my little transitions box. Now, as you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for transition lenses to darken. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now this is important, Gabe, and everyone else pay attention. All transition lenses will get dark on day 1 and continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks are exposed to the sun. After that, they will work for years of maximum performance. The only time transitions with Signature 7 lenses don't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield absorbs the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays that would cause your dashboard to crack from sitting in the sun all day. And that's why they don't turn dark in a car. If you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will darken. Now, they're also temperature sensitive, meaning they will get darker when it's 85 degrees and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But I remind everyone that when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees. So this is the first time they've been activated. They're going to keep getting darker. Come on, Gabe, we talked about that. Don't you remember? You really got to pay attention. So, but, wait, I'm sorry, I'm spacing. I'm trying to think what FSU stands for, if it is with your law firm, but no. And of course, if you didn't go to Florida State, I guess I could send you an orange. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you the yellow cloth. You get your Crizal cleaning cloth. You get your Oakley cleaning cloth bag. I'm going to send you this red one too. You're going to get 1,000,000 cleaning cloths. So if you've liked what you're seeing, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Even if you didn't like what you saw, subscribe to it. Give me another chance to do a better video. And I will. Not. Or you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram as freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. You can email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. But if you don't like typing, just hit the contact me button on this website. Or if you do like typing, you leave a question or comment in the comment section below. That way everyone else can read and benefit from your inquisitive nature. So as I keep running my mouth, which I am gifted at, I didn't say anything worthwhile was going to come out, but I am still just running my mouth. So I have a fear of public speaking, so I'll just keep talking till that fear goes away. But you can see it keeps lightening and lightening. This is what it would look like on Larry. Larry, I'm keeping this up there forever. You're going to be in every video. You're my buddy. You're my pal. But quit looking in my ear. I feel like you're just staring in my ear hole, counting my ear hairs. So that's it. So Gabe of Jimenez Law in Raleigh. Oh, thank you for the purchase of the Oakley. I'm going to say it right this time. The 5038. The metal plate color 22. The matte black with the transitions gray and Crizal Alize anti-glare. And everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.